There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Tunes back on. This is an especially awkward episode of. Let me just start there because I think we might be there now. Live cam, Carl. Thank you, Andy. No, don't panic, Mr. Manrin. Let it go. Let it go. Thank you for your excellent support this morning already. Thank you, Andy, for that. Live cam, Carl. This has been possibly the most difficult start to the show I've ever experienced. Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream and podcast. I'm assuming we are streaming now, and thank you for your forbearance on this matter, everybody. Matty's in as well. Is it you, Matty? You turn up, and then the show goes to cockerel, as you can see. I think I need to stroke my own lucky cockerel this morning. Sticky movement and no sound. Who doesn't like sticky movement and no sound first thing in the morning? The what I'm receiving is much later than the comments I'm seeing on the screen. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer and hope that things do improve. I've got an awesome video to play from. And my theme tune started. Whoa! Go with that flow, Carl. Go with that flow. Let me suddenly the end of the theme tune came in again there, but I have a wonderful video from Andy Klein. The last video of I thought I did, and now I've gone to look for it. It isn't on the screen. I'll see what I can do about that, and I may have to just and start again at 9. But let's see if we can get Andy's video to play this morning because it's far more professional than anything I've been capable of putting together this morning. And let's see if that will add and if I can play it and if everything calms down. That's what I'm looking for. Sometimes these things happen and they sort themselves out. However, I'm not. I don't. It doesn't seem like that's going to be happening this morning. Okay, we're uploading our Expat's Journey, the last episode of Andy Klein's excellent documentary series, which saw him arrive in the country here. And this stream, the internet connection, all of it is so constipated and difficult this morning that yeah, as I say, I might have to just stop and start again. Try a different connection, a different computer. How annoying is that? So apologies if you were hoping to be here for it. Well, we've got to a point now, haven't we, where we accept that this might happen from time to time, but it's never been quite as bad as this. One on my Wi-Fi connection, I've just got one little dot. I'm hardwired to the internet. I really don't understand what's happening. Although this has been happening for a few, well, it has got worse, hasn't it, over the last couple of weeks or so. So I don't know if everybody has come to San Martino de Porto for their holidays and has put a big strain on the internet pipe coming into San Martino. I guess that could be one explanation, couldn't it? But I don't know why why my laptop that I'm using for StreamYard is so, well, having tuned it up, I think that might be another part of the problem here. So still waiting for Andy's video to upload, which give us a little bit of breathing time and put something much more professional on the screen and give me a chance to drink a sip of tea. Failing that, if it really won't sort itself out, I think we might have to go again at 9, where we have a bit of Tony time for you this morning. Tony Barbosa, our man in the Mino, is booked for 9 o'clock this morning. And John Heimbach, who I must send, oh, this upload is taking too long. It might be a connection issue. You're not kidding. Let me try that one more time, though. Yes, John Heimbach, who I must send a link to now, is going to join us live from Norway this morning. He's on his European tour, the intrepid traveler across Europe, and he is going to be joining us live from Norway. So I'll make sure I get that link to him as well, at the risk of starting up another application on my machine here. It's very, very slow. You're experiencing that your end. Link then to John Heimbach, however, and one giant leap for mankind maybe here in the Good Morning Portugal studio. Happy 4th of July to you. Happy birthday to you, Owen. Beautiful photos in from you. And how are you, if you're an American expat here in Portugal, how are you celebrating your Independence Day today, I wonder? Are there celebrations like we've had celebrations for Thanksgiving? Do you have a similar celebration lined up today for Independence Day? What does it mean to you, in fact, 4th of July? It's going to be an interesting Bastille Day, isn't it, in France, upcoming on the 14th of July. Hopefully peace. It seems like it was a somewhat more peaceful night in France last night. Thank goodness for that. We are processing a video now, so we may be able to bring that to your screens and see if in the meantime this technology here will calm itself down. Here we go. We do have our expat journey. Nearly 4 minutes for the system to get itself calmed down, for me to calm down, and for you to enjoy an excellent video from Andy Klein here. Let's see what happens.
I began this web series a year ago. I had several reasons for doing so. I had the reasons I mentioned in the introduction, to tell the story of our expat journey while informing and entertaining. But I also had a reason I didn't share. As I was bringing my life in the United States to a close and beginning a new life in Portugal, I needed to connect my artistic work with my new home. Another way to say it, I needed to keep working as I retired from teaching and began what I hoped would be an active period of documentary filmmaking here in Europe. So, mission accomplished. I am bringing our expat journey to a close. I had not planned how or when to end this story. The end presented itself recently as I found myself too busy to continue. Last week I attended the Fest New Directors, New Films Festival in Espinho. I enjoyed being back in that world. I made several important contacts, including with a young filmmaker from Vibra, film students from Porto, and filmmakers from other parts of the world. We hatched a few ideas. I've been hatching ideas for a few months now. I'm working on a study away opportunity with students at Missouri State University and, if I can manage it, film students in Portugal to examine the global housing crisis as it plays out, with interesting similarities and differences in Portugal and the United States. I'll be returning to Jamaica in March to continue my filming of water quality studies by students and faculty from Missouri State University. This time, media students will be helping me examine how this work affects the lives of Jamaicans. And I'd like to take a few Portuguese film students with me so that the two groups of students can examine this together. How that can happen still needs to be figured out. Next month, I'll begin filming a web series for a proof of concept for a Portuguese food and travel show. I'm very excited to be working with the two talented guys who will be insightful and hilarious hosts of the show. I just finished filming a job for Ensemble Ibérica, an American nonprofit organization dedicated to performing and teaching about the music of the peninsula and its greater diaspora. And finally, I've always got some personal project going. For example, I'm editing now a documentary short film called Trinity, my last U.S. film. When it's finished, soon I hope, I'll be ready for the next thing, whatever that turns out to be. So, yeah, busy. Our expat journey did what I needed it to do, in addition to what I promised my audience. It helped me land in Portugal, ready to take on new documentary adventures. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please stay tuned. There's plenty of Portugal content to come.
Andy, absolutely beautiful, Andy. Love that. It's such quality gracing our screen this morning amid the technical challenges that we started with. Things appear to have settled down a little bit, but I shouldn't speak too soon, should I? And I definitely need to say hello to everybody who's here this morning. Antonio F., how are you? You are barred from yesterday's, actually not yesterday's, this morning's quiz question for the 4th of July. I think you know what a rodilla is, and those who tuned in yesterday may have heard the word. So, Antonio, if you don't mind sitting this one out today, that'd be awesome. And it was great doing a little bit of research on the word rodilla and the backstory there, and found an amazing new Portuguese indie brand while I was on my journey searching for that word, which the quiz of today revolves around the rodilla. Carl, the 4th of July for me will be... I knew it! When you said you were going to an awesome funk party, I was going to ask you, was it chic? And you say you will be spending the night with Nile Rodgers and a few other people, to be fair, and the Chic organization. And you can get lost in music tonight then, Chris. I can't wait. Tonight is going to be a great night. Yeah, I saw Nile Rodgers and the Chic organization at the Love Supreme Festival, which is probably, was it 10 years ago, I think, on the stage there. Gregory Porter was there. It was a fantastic lineup. Robert Glasper. It was a superb festival. I'm not a big festival goer, but that's very strong in my memories. Very special weekend back in the UK, seeing Nile Rodgers there. Superb. Gemini's in as well. Nubia Net. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm a little calmer now, I have to say. Matty's in. Quinton Dragos. And James, of course. Let's go back to the top where it all began this morning. Victoria's in. Yes, and she spotted her hot sauce on the screen this morning. Good job. That was talked about last night on the Wine Club, which was excellent, I have to say. We've set a new precedent on the Wine Club where we have 2 wines per show. And we had 2 organic whites, one from a new region, the Beira Interior, and one from the Alentejo. They're both really good. One was the Alentejo wine is Espanol, and the one from the Beira Interior called Malcata won the evening basically with its superb complex, beautiful, a little adventure in the mouth as you have a sip of that Malcata. And their branding is all around the Iberian links, which is just really lovely. How they apparently the Beira Interior is becoming a hotspot for the production of organic wines in Portugal. And Garvo, great job in selecting those two, both scoring very well. But Malcata, I think, generally had it as the real sensation among us wine club enthusiasts who meet monthly on the first Monday of every month. Do join us. It's a lot of fun. And GMP VIPs, if you want to guest on that and be on the screen with us, you'd be more than welcome, and bring something with you if you want to suggest something for us to taste. You'd be very welcome to do that. Coach Turner, bon dia todos, back home after a great few days. Car ran faultlessly, not bad for something 30 years old. It's a spring chicken. Back to training and coaching today before heading to Donington this weekend. Donington, so another race meeting. Wow, what a busy calendar you have there, Coach Turner. The God Squad tip of the day then. I've always wondered how much effect exercise has on weight. Turns out not much, right? Or rather, how much you would have to do to lose some kilos. To that end, I've been riding an exercise bike, really. And here's the bad news, I think, coming right up. Great talk last night about diabetes. Diabetes seems to be in the air at the moment, so to speak, on the agenda. It might be a better way of putting it. And, of course, Big Phil is Kuwu Phil, the baby steps man who joins us with Coach Turner on the screen. I think it's the third Friday of the month, is walking 1 million steps to raise money for Diabetes UK. And he's got off to a cracking start. We'll talk to him on the show at some point as well about that. So it has a calories consumed readout. This is Coach Turner on his exercise bike. And it seems 20 minutes of moderate cycling will burn around 130 calories. That's about half a large Kit Kat bar. There are many reasons to exercise. Losing weight, however, should not be the main one. It's very disappointing, I think, for people who go running or swimming hoping to lose weight. It's not the best way to do it, is it? Unless you're planning to do 2 hours or more each day, which most people aren't. I was in the sea again yesterday, Coach, and there was a lot of seaweed. I came out of the sea looking like some kind of a science fiction character from the 1950s in a black and white B movie, wrapped in seaweed. It wasn't a pleasant feeling, but lovely to get into the sea again yesterday. Much more effective is to slowly reduce calorie intake. I've certainly been doing that, and maybe change the things you eat, right? Maybe cut down on the carbs and go for other food groups as well. Don't tell T-Duck that, though, T-Duck. A little bit of controversy around that. Good morning to you, T-Duck, taking a well-earned break this week. Andy, a varied diet. Yeah, change it up a bit. I've definitely been more mindful of what I've been eating in this last week or so, as I'm endeavoring to shape up and tone up a bit, and thinking, if I don't do it now, I never will. And so that mindful eating and the eating of the varied diet, as you put it there, Coach Turner, is certainly something I've been doing. James is in as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz dias a todos. Como va todos? And bon dia, Ian, as well. Matty was in early with a bon dia a todos de Pombo Console. And it's Owen's birthday. So let's bring onto the screen his lovely pickies that he sent in earlier this morning. These are fantastic, Owen. Really grateful to you. On your birthday, sending us these fabulous moon pictures. He's a Cancerian, you see, like me. My birthday coming up this week as well. We always know it's our birthdays, don't we, Owen? Because we tend to talk to each other. There's mention of our birthdays. And we know it's the early part of July. Look at this picture that Owen sent in. Isn't that beautiful? Super moon in Ponte De Lima. And just if you want to do a bit of moon bathing for a moment. Look at that. I mean, that looks like the sun that we saw last week with the Canadian wildfire dust in the sky, doesn't it? That's intense. That's the full moon as captured in the north of Portugal. Bom dia, meus amigos. Carl, enveo algumas fotos da superlua, the super moon there. Thank you so much. And yeah, while we're here, let's go to hot sauce, from one hot sauce to another. Yes, right, that's right, Owen. I'm calling you hot sauce this morning. There's one that Victoria made a couple of days ago, which she slathered all over her kebabs, which you can see there, her espetadas de porco as well. Good work there, Victoria, with it. No doubt an hola bon dia kids in Portimao this morning. Thank you very much, Owen. Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you very much, Victoria, as well. Hola bon dia kids. Guess what? It's sunny in Portimao. We'll do a weather. We'll do some weather. Maybe we'll talk through that with Antonio in a little while when he joins us at 9. That's flown by. It's nearly 9 o'clock already, but that's because of all the challenges I had earlier on. Good morning, everyone, from Andy. Let me skim very quickly through all the bon dias and the greetings this morning. Capricorn quiz 12. Ooh, quizzy. And yeah, Matty's in, Andy's in. Orico Mota is in, our friend in Spain. Alan also in, wishing us a happy Independence Day. Have a great night tonight with Nile Rodgers. Do give him my best regards. Muitos parabéns para os americanos. Those of you from the Estados Unidos. Orico Mota is sending you greetings this morning, as we all are here on the Good Morning Portugal show. And hola, bon dia, alegria. Tony as well. He's bringing his friend Kat with him as well. That's why today is called Picture Perfect Portugal. Kat is inspired by the visual feast that is Portugal, and we'll be talking to us about that in just a moment with Tony. Bit spicy yourself, Mr. M. Let's get a room. Let's get a hot room, Owen. We've got Portuglish Lord Gilchrist in. Morning, everybody. All rise. And stop it with your happy Independence Traitors Day there, Lord Gilchrist. You're starting what the world needs now, or what the world doesn't need now, is another diplomatic outrage, quite frankly. We've got weather and we've got a quiz to bring you. Which of those shall I do first, at the risk of crashing the show by running too many things on the screen? But you know me, I'm happy to give it a go. Let's have a look at the weather, brought to you by Dynasty Homes this morning. I'm enjoying looking at the weather at the moment. And it remains breezy here on the Silver Coast, I've got to tell you, while others are absolutely baking in the interior. We've got some lovely fresh breeze here, and we've had it for the last couple of weeks here on the Silver Coast here in San Martin de Porto. And I'll bring onto the screen for you now a quick weather view, and we'll do the quiz as well, because I think Antonio Cat might know the answer to this as well, who's definitely joining us this morning, so I'm really pleased about that. And yeah, the weather for this morning brought to you by Dynasty Homes in Lisbon. At the well, there's no weather there on the screen at the moment, is there? That's a little bit slow to load. We can safely say it's warm and pleasant. Here we go. Here in Portugal today, 19 degrees, in fact, in the capital, rising to 26. A nice sunny day, a bit cloudy at the moment. That's 66 Fahrenheit, rising to 79 in Porto. 21 degrees will be the high, currently 17. Coimbra, 28 degrees, and in Faro, getting the warmest temperatures around the country, it would seem. 28 in Coimbra, the high today. Broken clouds at the moment at 18, and in Faro, it's already hot and sunny at 27 degrees in Faro. That's very comfortable and lovely. And obviously in Portimao, Victoria is absolutely right. It started out a low of 23 in Faro, would you believe? In Braga, also hot, though. It will end up hot in the north at 28. Currently 17, started out at 15, broken clouds there. And if I look around the country, yeah, we're going to see 35 and 35 in Castelo Branco and Beja, Évora 34. So the interior continuing to bake over there. Be very careful. A bit of a wildfire alert for you now. Go to fogos.pt to find out what's going on. Okay, that's your weather from Dynasty Homes. And very quickly, before our wonderful guest join us this morning, that's Antonio Barbosa, our man in the Minho, and Kat Piveca, who has some lovely... she's waving to me already. I thought she was smiling because of how I pronounced her name. We'll find out how to do that in just a moment correctly, and all about... I got a thumbs up. Always pleased when that happens. Very quickly then, the quiz for this morning, the Learn About Portugal quiz, and this will be on your screen in just a moment. It's a single word, and what does it mean? The quiz question of the day today. So let's go there. 4th of July. Whenever I say 4th of July, I can kind of hear fireworks and see American friends celebrating in my mind's eye. So here we go. Question for today. You might like to do this with us. Antonio, Tony Time, Barbosa, and Kat as well. Here's your question for today then. Forgive me as I compose tomorrow's poser. This is what I wrote last night after the wine club, actually. Bit boozy, I'll be honest. Forgive me as I compose tomorrow's poser. I'm a little tiddly after tonight's wine club. I wholeheartedly recommend the Malcata Organic White. Thank you, Gary Austin. Anyway, if you watched this morning's show, that was referring to yesterday's show, you may have heard the word rodilha mentioned. What is a rodilha, and where might a woman place it when carrying out a vital traditional task? And as I said, Antonio F. and No, I didn't mean to put on her husband there. I didn't do that vote. Who's been doing that? One of my kids, I suspect. Yeah, Philomena and Antonio can sit this one out because I know they know this. And there are a few votes in so far at learnaboutportugal.com. For some reason, I've put on her husband. That's one of the answers. In the village square is another one. Where would a woman put this on? Where will a woman place this when carrying out a vital traditional task? On her husband, in the village square, as far away from the local community as possible, on her head, or in her underwear. Matron. So pop over to learnaboutportugal.com if you would like to take a guess at that. Marvelous. Let's welcome our guest this morning. We have got Antonio Barbosa. It's Tony time, everybody. The man in the Mino is here. Let me take that cockerel from out of your face there. In fact, we need to make some room on the screen. How are you doing, Tony?
Bon dia. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy 4th of July. All that's celebrated, maybe some British friends of ours really don't like that holiday, but yeah, it exists.
We're so over it, Tony. Let's keep that applause going. We've got Kat joining us as well. Morning, Kat.
Hello. Dzień dobry in Polish.
Dzień dobry. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for inviting me. I hope the connection is good. I don't have the
you sound perfect.
Headphones. Yes, but
no, you
can you hear me?
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for you. You sound absolutely perfect. You're looking great. You're sounding great. And I see on the screen there, look at this, Tony. What a wonderful friend you've brought along with you this morning. In love with Portugal. That's what we like to see, Kat. What's that all about?
I'm a Polish photographer and travel journalist. And 10 years ago, I came to Portugal for the first time to do the article about Portugal for the Polish magazine. And as soon as I landed, it was in Faro. I just felt that I just found my second home and I fell in love with Portugal. And the last 10 years, I've been visiting Portugal every year for at least 3 or 4 months. I spend here every year, 3 or 4 months. I can't, unfortunately, move here because I have family and my photographic studio in Poland. So it's only 3 or 4 months here every year. But I was coming here every year and working on the even more articles about Portugal. Now it's over 30 articles in Polish and Portuguese magazines. And I also did the book. You see the book? It's In Love with Portugal. It's a photo album with the most beautiful places.
We need to know where to. I mean, look at it. It's not a surprise that it's as thick as a telephone directory, because, as I've said on many occasions, this country is so photogenic, isn't it? But that looks amazing, Kat. And we will talk to you as well, Tony. But I mean, honestly, this is quite amazing, isn't it? What Kat's done, here. How did the book come about, and how have you managed to produce such a beautiful-looking tome there?
Yeah, it is really 10 years of visiting all the places, like, cities, beaches, castelos. I was literally everywhere in Portugal. 10 years of visiting every corner of Portugal. And then I had to choose because I wasn't able to put everything in the book. So I had to choose the best places that I recommend to visit. And this is the book, but now I also have the exhibition, the photo exhibition that currently is in the center of Porto, in Celina, Porto.
Yes.
So for the exhibition, I chose only 30 photographs. So it was not easy, to choose only 30 photographs out of, how many from the book.
Sure. Well, it must have been so difficult to do that. Absolutely. Because how many photographs do you think you've taken in Portugal?
I think, I think I've taken, I don't know, maybe 30,000 photographs or 50,000. I don't know, because now I published the book in 2020 during the pandemic, and since then I've been revisiting with the book. Now with the exhibition, I still come to Portugal, and now I revisit all the regions, and I still find new places. So now I think I have to do part 2 of this photo album, because I have so many new places. It never stops.
I could totally understand that, and I already want book 2. I haven't even got book 1 yet, and it is available from your website, it would appear.
You can order. Yes, you can order the book online on my website. I send it all over the world. Can you imagine that even people from Australia bought the book because they visited Europe and they fell in love with Portugal? So I was sending the book to Australia. It was 3 weeks. The delivery time was 3 weeks.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it's an amazing piece of work. There it is, and this is something that would be a beautiful gift for somebody, wouldn't it? Somebody who loves Portugal, and the title is perfect. The album of photographs in love with Portugal. Tony, good morning to you. And sorry, you've been left out of the conversation so far. But what an incredible work of devotion this is from Kat here. How did you two meet?
Hello. Wow, this has been a story about 2 years ago, more, right, Kat? And so really, when you meet people that are ambassadors for Portugal, and she's an ambassador through photography, I fell in love with it. I reached out to her. I saw it somewhere. I think it was probably Sapo or Sapo Viagens.
Yes. I publish my articles about Portugal on Sapo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I read the story, and I researched a little more about her in the social media and everything. And so I reached out to her, and I said, "Hey, Kat, may I use your photographs to in my posts and just talk about Portugal itself?" And so I did even a series for like a month or like 2 months, every day, like a morning greeting. I would use one of her photos and everything, and also. Because it was just, like, why reinvent the wheel? We have so many beautiful photographs, but she has really, it's really about people that come out of, they're not from Portugal. They visit Portugal. I always say, you come, be ready. Don't come if you don't want to fall in love, right, Kat? And that's what she's done. And I love their story. And that was really is. And, today's everything in marketing, the way she's been doing it, everything's about storytelling. So, and I'm really happy to call her a friend, although I have not met her in person yet. It seems like I have.
I'm waiting for you at my exhibition, Antonio.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a pleasure to have her here, and give her the mic, give her the spotlight, because believe me, you hear it from me all the time talking about Portugal, but this is somebody that also has not made the move yet permanently, but she comes here a few times a year, and she from north to south. And in between, and somebody that knows Portugal too, and so definitely give her the mic. I'm happy to sit back and listen to you ask, and for her to share her story and her love for Portugal, for sure, Carl.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Yes,
really
thank you, Antonio, for your support, and I hope to see you at the exhibition. It is until 13th of July in Porto, and then the exhibition goes to Lisbon.
Really? Okay, so tell us about the exhibition tour then. How did it come about?
Me?
Yeah.
So you can visit the exhibition at any time, because it's all the time open until 13th of July, and then it goes to Lisbon. And in Lisbon, you will be able to see it in my magic place in Guincho, because I have my magic places all over Portugal.
Right.
And I try to show my exhibition in these magic places, to invite people and to show the magic places of Portugal. One of the magic places here, Vale Furado, close to this praia. I can't. The light is reflecting, but
let's give you the full screen, and then we might be able to do that a little bit better.
Yeah. So this is Praia Vale Furado, close to Nazaré. Yeah, this is one of my magic places in Portugal. And last year, the premiere of the exhibition was here in the bar on this beach. And now then the exhibition went back to Poland. It was available to see in the big cities, in Polish big cities, and now the exhibition is back here to Portugal. But just imagine that I'm coming with the exhibition in my Polish car, so I drive 3,000 kilometers.
Amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to show that's a Nazaré beach there.
Yeah. Vale Furado Beach. It's a hidden gem of Portugal. It's like hidden treasure because
you've got a knack for finding them by the sound of it. But sorry, I interrupted you by putting that on the screen. You drive your exhibition across Europe. Is that how it works?
Yeah. But from the beginning, maybe I came to Portugal with the flight only a few times, but mostly the last 10 years I've been coming. I always come here with my car, with my Polish car, because I come here for at least 2 months. So it's not easy to pack all my equipment, photographic equipment, and all the stuff for 2 months for the flight. It's not easy to pack it. Sure. With my Polish car. Yes, I have a big Polish car, and Piwecka bus. It is called Piwecka bus, and I always come to Portugal, yes, with my Polish car. So this way, 3,000 kilometers, I know it by heart. I drive it every year.
Yes, I mean, Doug's absolutely right. What an amazing book and great lady. You're an amazing woman. This journey that you pilgrimage to Portugal and taking all these fantastic photographs. So you've been near Nazaré, Porto currently, and you're off to Guincho soon, which of course is a little bit outside Lisbon, isn't it? It's over by Carcavelos and the beaches.
Yes, it is between Cascais and Sintra, with the view over Cabo da Roca, a magic place, but I really want people to see my magic places in Portugal. I could have shown the exhibition in the center of Lisbon, but I want to bring people to to all these magic places. So it's outside Lisbon, but I hope people will visit the exhibition.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, Kat. This is quite amazing what you're doing. And I foresee just, invitation after invitation. I thought this was one of them, actually, from Matty, who says, my magic place is my quinta. Everyone's home should be their magic place. That's true. And also, of course, we, like Kat, we have our favorite magic places around, don't we, that we discover. And Portugal certainly is full of them. Are you open to being invited around Portugal with your touring exhibition?
Excuse me?
Are you open to being invited with your exhibition to different places around Portugal?
Yes, if someone wants me to come with the exhibition, I can come. So just message me, and we can organize more places for the exhibition.
Amazing. And you also you write, you said you do articles and workshops. So tell us more about yourself from that point of view. You're also a writer.
No, I'm just a journalist. So a travel journalist.
Yeah.
So the last 10 years, I've been publishing articles about Portugal mainly, but also about other places over the world. And I publish my articles on Sapo here in Portugal, and in Poland on different magazines. So I'm a portrait photographer, and the other job, my job is being travel journalist. So I have two jobs.
And
do you ever sleep? Go on, Tony.
Exactly. I was just going to ask you to put up her professional website, because she does a beautiful work, especially black and white. I love. There's everybody can call themselves photographers nowadays if you have a phone, but there's such a thing between a professional photographer and what she does, especially with celebrities in Poland, and but in black and white. I love her work. I really do. Of course.
Yeah, but you know what? It's so funny because my portraits of people are always black and white, because I always say that I see people in black and white, because I don't need any color to show the emotions, the eyes, and the soul of the person. when I take portraits. But with travel photography, with places, I need all the colors. So you can see that my travel photography is so full of colors, and my portraits are always black and white.
It's incredible. I mean, and so generous of you, I think, as well, to offer workshops. You teach photography too, as well as marketing and all manner of other disciplines to people, Kat.
Yes, but it's something that, all photographers do. I've been working as a photographer for 15 years now. So now I feel that I can teach, because I know all the branch, and I can teach younger photographers. So yes, I published also something like for photographers, something like a guidebook about marketing, doing the marketing as a photographer. I also opened the something like in the university. We created the, I don't know how to say it in English. In university, you have specialization. Yes, specialization. For teaching young photographers business and marketing. So I think it's quite normal if you have, if you have worked like 15 years in your profession.
Amazing. What a delight to meet you and find out more about you. And so the current exhibition is available for people to delight in and see in Porto. What's the venue there, Kat?
What's there?
What's the venue? What's the magic place where you are exhibiting in Porto at the moment?
In Porto, yes, it's in the hotel, Selina Hotel, in the center of Porto, and the address is wait. It's Rua.
It's okay, no hurry. Let's have a quick chat with Tony while you're sorting out.
It's real close to the City Hall. It's about 2 streets behind City Hall in Porto. It's real close. It's downtown. It's a small little place. Actually, curiosity. There was a client of ours, client. I won't mention his name, but Kat knows. And he happened to be, because she made a post in one of our private Facebook groups that we have. And he says, Tony, I'm actually here right now. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Because he saw it and and he was there. He was doing some work because he's here for a month. We're actually closing on a property with him in Porto. And he was so extremely happy. So I'm not sure. But I think, Kat, you're there till the 13th. But I think Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right? Is that what it is? You want to talk about the times? And then also in Guincho, because I know that's your magical spot. Guincho and Ericeira. Everyone has their place where they call home. And we love Portugal, all of it. But I know that is a special magical place for you, right? Ericeira and Guincho. So if you want to talk about the 2 times and the times that you have, or until from Lisbon, it must be from the 14th on. I think that's where you were going, right, Carl? So back to you, my friend.
Thank you. So Guincho, so we'll have the address for the Porto exhibition. You're going to Guincho. Did Tony just mention Ericeira as well? Are you exhibiting in Ericeira as well, Kat?
No, only in Guincho for now. Okay. It's only in Guincho. Yes. In the hotel, also in the hotel, the last hotel with the view over Cabo de Roca, Starażę Muszaszo. Yes, it's the place in Guincho where you can visit the exhibition. But now in Porto, I found the street. But if you put to Google just Selina Porto, Hotel Selina Porto, you just if you put to Google, tremendous. To Google Maps, you'll find it. It's wait, it's.
Well, you can't get rid of us now. You can't get rid of us now, Kat. We are all. You are now friends with this whole community, and I'm looking forward to people coming along to your exhibition, meeting you, and sending maybe a selfie to us of you, maybe with you and some of your pictures there. It is, of course, Independence Day. You made reference to that, Tony. How's it going with the market up in the north? Are you finding that more Americans are striking out with their own independence into Portugal?
For sure.
What's going on?
It's 90% of our friends that want to move to Portugal are coming from the U.S. That's always been our biggest market, U.S. and Canada. It was Canada Day on Saturday, by the way, too. So, typically the Canadians are a little bit quieter about everything. There depends. you know, they. I love I love North Americans. I think they're the easiest, demanding, but easiest buyers that are out there. Because they know they're pragmatic. And they know what they want, and you have to find it, and that's what it's about. But definitely today I'll be celebrating also with my grilled chicken and grilled ribs and sausage and doing the whole holiday. I celebrate the more of the U.S. holidays here too. 4th of July is one of those holidays, definitely. Just like Thanksgiving with the turkey, right? What 4th of July I couldn't celebrate without having a nice barbecue with friends. So that's what I'm having. That's my 4th of July, my friend.
So with more Americans moving to Portugal, are we finding that we are having 4th of July celebrations? Are you going along to something formal and celebratory later on today?
No, just with some friends. Actually, they're Portuguese friends out there.
Okay. Yes. Well, a lot of Portuguese people have lived in America, of course, and might have come back and still want to celebrate their happy times in America.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, even, when, my mom and dad, they're no longer here, but once they moved back from a lifetime also in the US, they said it's mandatory. They celebrate all the US holidays, especially Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and a few others, and definitely it's a celebration. But it's mostly, I don't think it's more the celebration. I think it's become a habit, a cultural thing. Barbecue outside. That's what it is. Fireworks and barbecue.
Oh, good for you.
Independence from what? I think the U.S. right now, they need independence from a lot of things. So maybe a new independence will be coming.
There's certainly, yes. Around the world, I mean, there is this sort of unsettled sense, isn't there? So at least we can drink to that today, to peaceful resolution of people's differences. Don't forget, Carl says, Matty, Portuguese people like to celebrate anything, anytime. Yes, I guess so. So happy Independence Day today. And that's like a party within a party, because I think a lot of people are mid-festa anyway. And we've got the massive celebration coming up in Tamar this weekend. Back up to the north, though. Our man in the Minho, any more secrets? We've got Kat with her magic places. Have you got any more magic places or any news to share with us about the market or other beautiful spots we've yet to discover in the north, Tony?
No, I'm going to pass the mic to Kat. She was just up in Caminha, and that's the view that you see behind me, right? That's something that she's discovering. One of Portugal's best kept secrets. I've always told her about it. She likes more, everyone has their places, but she was up here and it was just impossible to meet with you, Kat. But if you want to talk about probably the Minho itself, your own personal experience, somebody that, again, don't take my word for it. I've been living here for almost a lifetime since as a kid coming and visiting and now here 22 years. But, what are your feelings? That view there when the Rio Minho, when the Minho River, before it goes out and hugs the Atlantic, it looks to the east and it sees Santa Tecla. It gives it a nice little kiss. It looks to Caminha and it said, I'll be back, right? Before it hugs. What are your feelings?
I'll tell you what, Kat, before you answer that, let's bring another fan of the North onto the screen. He's joining us from Norway this morning. It's Johannes fra Norte. Here he is on the screen. John, thank you for joining us from Norway this morning. Is it a bit chilly up there?
It's about, what is it? 10 Celsius?
10 Celsius, okay. It's a little bit warmer than that here in Portugal, John. How was your road trip up north? I mean, you had some impeccable timing. You were in Paris last week, weren't you? I think your timing was excellent.
We left. We left the morning that everything blew up.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's some funny stuff going on. Like Nubia was in Marseille just recently. She leaves, it blows up there. You're in Paris. You leave, it blows up there. And then you drove north out of Paris, and you've been up through into Scandinavia now by car.
Yeah, by car.
Amazing.
But we've been enjoying the drive, and it's been holding up really well.
Yeah.
Still don't have to add any the AdBlue for the diesel. Still got plenty of juice on that.
Right.
The prices of diesel vary immensely, but amazingly, Sweden has the lowest prices.
Oh, okay. All right. So you have an amazing time in Scandinavia by the sound of it. Your Airbnb there looks like it could do with some doors and windows, though, I've got to say.
Oh, this is I am at the top of the Vleubanen, which is the funicular takes you up to the top of the mountain over Bergen. I sent you a video and also that you could maybe play when it's my time. But
yeah. Well, we will do that, and an amazing tunnel as well that you drove through, John. So we'll definitely be playing those videos this morning. And thank you for being here. Let's hear what Kat has to say, because we got Tony, who's a veteran lover of the Minho and the north. John, you're fairly recent in your love of the north of Portugal and generally of Portugal.
About the Minho, the landscape and geography between the Lima and the Minho. To me, it's my favorite everywhere. And Caminha, looking across, it's just really a special area. And then you have the big mountain range in between the two.
Yeah.
That you can go exploring. Bob and Viv sent some videos and pictures last week about jumping into the waters and all that. And that's in the forests and mountains in between the two rivers.
Oh, amazing. So, Kat, you've been exploring up there. How was it for you?
Caminha is absolutely magic place for me because I really love the places where the river meets the ocean. So the Foz area. Yes, it's amazing. So I spent there 2 nights, and of course the view Miradouro. Antonio, can you tell me the name Miradouro with the
Fraga, Miradouro da Fraga in Caminha, in Vilarilho.
No, it was I posted the beautiful photo with the sunset over the from the Miradouro over the Minho River and
Santa Tecla in Spain. You're talking about Santa Tecla?
No, on the Portuguese side. Miradouro.
There are so many beautiful places we can't locate it.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is absolutely must see, the Caminha and the surroundings. And it was so funny because I went to I think it was Camarinha Beach. So it's the last, Última Praia in Portugal. It's the last beach or the first one. It depends from what side you...
okay.
Praia do Camarido.
Yes, do Camarido. So it's the last beach, in Portugal, or the first one.
I could tell you a little secret.
What a fantastic claim, and obviously a must go to place. Tony's about to tell us a secret. Is it a nudist beach, Tony?
Yeah, there's a little secret about Praia do Camarido. One of my favorite spots to go. Is when you go by the river. Instead of going to the Atlantic, you're on the river, right there on the edge, and you don't have a wind because a lot of the beach there in the north, especially, there's a lot of wind. In Moledo, Praia do Moledo, Praia do Camarido, and so far down up until Porto, basically, it's the North Atlantic, so a lot of wind. So you have it protected there a little bit, and definitely one of my favorite little. So it's a river, but it's right on the Atlantic. It's right, if you can see, I'll take out my head, I'll put it out to the side so you could see. Right there in the tip.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So that is a real find, an unwindy beach when you've got Atlantic beaches. So thank you for that. That's what you get to find out here on the Good Morning Portugal show. A bit of Tony time with Antonio Barbosa of Infinite Solutions up there in the north, helping people find property. And brought his fantastic friend with him today, Kat Viveka from Poland, who spends 3 or 4 months here a year taking photographs of this amazing country and has a book, In Love with Portugal, which I think a few of people from this community will want to gift each other. It is truly a coffee table special, isn't it, Kat? And volume 2 is coming out. When is that scheduled for?
I don't know. I'm working on the volume 2, but we will see because, the volume 1, it took me 10 years,
Wow.
to do the book.
It must take so much work to do that. Do you design it yourself as well?
Yes, yes. And in pandemia, when everything was closed, it was the
Yeah.
perfect job just to sit down. I couldn't go to Portugal because everything was closed. So I was sitting in front of computer with the graphic designer, and we were just doing the book. So I was like feeling like almost being in Portugal, putting the photos in the right order for the book. And it was a couple of weeks, until we did it, because it was, as I said before, it was not easy to select the photos, the places, and then to put them in the order and to design everything. So a lot of work. So now I think for volume 2, you have to wait maybe at least 3 or 4 years.
Okay, fair enough. No, that. I mean, I think the volume 1's going to keep us busy, and I think you've nailed it there. For people who have had a lovely holiday here or great memories, it's the perfect book to have at home, isn't it? Somewhere else in the world, and it's a lovely gift item that people can give each other who are new to Portugal and are looking for inspiration for new places to go to discover the magic places.
Exactly. When you plan your visit, it's good to have the book, because then you can see the places to visit, so you can plan your trip with the book. So
it's wonderful. And there's the link to get it. So Antonio, thank you so much for bringing Kat to our attention here. And Kat, so lovely to meet you. Muito prazer. Have a great day, and I hope the rest of your exhibition is very successful. So all the best to you both.
Thank you very much. See you at the exhibition.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Great. Bye. Ciao for now. Infinite Solutions is where you'll find Tony. John is with us from Norway in what looks like an incredibly Scandinavian backdrop. So are you in some sort of bird hide or somewhere where you can enjoy the pristine Scandinavian air this morning, John?
Yeah, I'm at the top of the mountain behind Bergen, and I'll have you. I should walk down to the overlook. Maybe I'll take you for a walk. How about that?
How about that? Thank you very much for allowing us to join you on holiday in Norway. Really appreciate it. Because you're a busy man. You've got things to do, driving through Europe and up to Scandinavia. So really, really appreciate you indulging us this morning.
Yeah. Now you'll have to pardon me if there's a little bit of noise. I'm going for a walk, but it looks like the tour bus just arrived up here.
Okay. So we've got hikers who are setting off and going into the forest, have we, as we speak?
Yeah, they're going off into the forest. And I'm going to walk down to an overlook and show you the city of Bergen, the rainiest city in Norway. It's practically a rainforest up here. But we have 2 days of uninterrupted no rain while we're here. So it rained last night.
Well done. Good timing as ever.
Good timing. Yeah, so we're loving it here. We drove all the way up from Portugal. So we went through Spain, Burgos up to northern Spain, in between Bilbao and San Sebastian, the coastal highway there. And while we're on the Iberia, what's the phrase?
Iberian.
Yeah, Iberian. So if you're in the mood for a little short holiday up to northern Spain along the coast there, it's quite amazing.
A tour bus has definitely arrived, hasn't it? Fantastic. Yeah. And you know what I'm impressed by as well is Scandinavian internet. I think it's true to say, isn't it, up there in Nordic Europe, the internet connections, the mobile service is pretty strong.
Yeah, it is. So look at this.
Oh wow! So we're overlooking Bergen, are we?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's Bergen down there. I'll go down to the edge.
This is amazing. Thanks, John.
So,
someone's not happy.
See if I can find an open spot.
Oh, this is the visitor center, obviously built.
I found an open spot. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. I'm sure we'll reconnect with John any minute. Oh, look at that. Incredible.
So this is the top of the Floibahn, which is a funicular that can take you up here in a matter of like 10 minutes.
Okay.
From the town below, and there's a sum total of 1, 2, 3 cruise boats down there.
So this is where the big cruise liners come into Norway.
They it's one of the popular cruise boat spots, but
Amazing.
It's worth it. There's lots to do. There's lots to see. There's all kinds of fjord trips and visits. There's all kinds of Nordic events. There's even when we were here a couple years ago, they had the Trolljäger.
What's that?
That's like the Spartan type competitions where they roll around in the mud and do all kinds of.
Oh, okay, so a Viking Olympics almost.
Yeah. So they're carrying logs up hills and running down the other side and drowning themselves in rivers and streams and all kinds of things.
So you're again, perfect timing. You're not there for that particular event then. You didn't have to get your kit off and go mud wrestling.
No. So
right, we've got a bit of backstory here. I've got 3 videos to play. Some incredible engineering, the funicular, and an aerial view. This is taking us back, I think, to Germany, isn't it? To the Heimbach Castle.
Yeah, that's my hometown in Germany. So I sent you a video of from the top of my castle.
Well, let's have a look from the top of your castle. Then we'll go through the tunnel. Then we'll have a ride on the funicular. And by the time that's finished, I imagine you'll be comfortable back in your little hut that you had earlier on. So let's go to
right now.
All right, let's go to Germany first.
This is the lovely little town of Heimbach, Deutschland. We are up in the keep of the Hengeberg Castle, right in the Eifelwald. Eifel National Park is right over here, one of the largest reservoirs in Germany. This is the Ruhr, R-U-R, river. Deep in the woods in the Rhineland, not too far away from Belgium and the Alsace-Lorraine area south of Aachen. That's the national park over there. And this is north, up towards Aachen. Anyway, this is my hometown, where my ancestors came from roughly 300 years ago to the New World, namely mostly Pennsylvania. Good to be back.
Well, that's a special relevance on Independence Day, doesn't it? Wow. Yeah. The vista, the commentary. Thank you so much, John. It must have been amazing, very moving to be there. I was feeling it there. I mean, what a breathtaking landscape. And it just seems so crisp and clean and wonderful and beautiful.
It's a beautiful little German town, kind of idyllic place with, the old wooden beam houses and the 100-year-old, well, I don't know how old the church is, maybe 1200, but old anyway.
Yes,
my hometown, but I've only been there twice.
Amazing, absolutely brilliant. Not many people can do that. I think I can pop up to Monção in the north of Portugal and probably will do that and claim it as my hometown. Right, but not the pedigree of yours there. Amazing.
I will tell you, it's quite profound and moving to actually walk where you can picture your own relatives having come from.
Yes.
You know, and walking the same areas. And my ancestors probably never set foot in that castle. They were just farmers, but they worked for the guy.
Yeah, right. And they would not have imagined, would they, that their descendant John Heimbach would be, or Heimbach, sorry, would be returning one day to stand aloft and looking over the landscape in his newfangled motor vehicle as he tours Europe. I mean, incredible.
I'll tell you a little funny story, because you know, when we checked into the hotel, you know, they had my name and everything, and I said, so, you know, I said, what do you think of my last name? And they said, well, at first we thought it was a joke. I said, what do you mean? It's like, well, I mean, you said Heimbach. It's like, you know, there's nobody with a name like that. That's just the town. There's nobody there with a name with that. There's a last name. So it's, you know, it's the typical of the immigrants to the New World. They say, where are you from? Well, I'm from Heimbach. Okay, you're João from Heimbach. Okay, that's your name.
Yeah, that makes complete sense, doesn't it? Okay, so we're back on the road now, and we're going through a marvel of modern engineering, aren't we? Again, something that would have been unimaginable in the days of your ancestors in the pretty village of Heimbach there. Tell us about this tunnel.
Yeah, you have no idea. The engineering, the Norwegians, Norway is the world-class masters of tunnel building. Anybody wanting to get an engineering degree in tunnel building, they truly are the cutting edge anywhere. And you'll see that, especially at the very last 10 seconds of the video. But it starts off as we cross a big suspension bridge that doesn't go anywhere. You're going, where are we going? And it's like going straight into a cliff. So we'll start off with that.
Okay, let's have a look now.
I didn't remember that other roundabout, but this is the one I was thinking Still got a little bit. Get to the roundabout.
Please leave the roundabout at the second exit.
It's just like a glacier. It's all
Please
white.
leave the roundabout at the second exit.
We're in a glacier. We're in a glacier tunnel. So cool. This is so cool. Fabulous.
That is incredible.
I couldn't hear the audio. Was the audio?
Yeah, you were driving through the glacier. That is extraordinary. That roundabout is a thing of beauty, isn't it, underground there?
At the roundabout, please take the second exit.
Well, that is so reassuring, isn't it, to have a British lady guiding you through underneath a glacier there.
And it's amazing that you have literally, you know, 4 exits on the roundabout that you could go, okay, which highway do I want to go?
You don't often get that. You don't often get a roundabout in a tunnel, do you, with 4 choices? I would be quite scared.
You're hundreds of meters under the granite mountain, and you're like having to choose which roadway to take.
Yeah, and you might be under there for another 3 hours if you take the wrong turning. Were you glad to be out of that ultimately?
Yeah, that was a long day. Well, it was actually not that long of a total drive, but the journey from the Hardangervidda plateau down to Bergen by either by train or by car, you must go through 100 tunnels. So it does get tiresome.
Human beings are extraordinary, aren't we? You know, with what we do. It's incredible. Thank you for that. 2 beautiful videos, and now the funicular, which basically brings you up to where you are now. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at that. Incredible, John. Absolutely incredible. A beautifully made funicular. I've been on the one in Nazaré. This one looks a little bit, what can I say? A slightly different contribution to engineering there. And then it brings you up into this beautiful, pristine air, which you're enjoying right now.
Yeah. And then later on, at 2 o'clock, 1400, we're going to take a little boat ferry, not a ferry, it's just a little boat journey up for an hour and a half, and then round trip 3 hour little fjord cruise. So we've been here a couple times before, but never taken the fjord cruise. So that'll be fun.
That is incredible. So let me let you get on with that. I just would like to ask you, if I may, the Learn About Portugal quiz question of the day. You might like to take part in this morning before you go off on your fjord cruise. Thank you
I got plenty.
So much, John, for being so thoughtful and sharing the beautiful videos with us while you're on. Sorry, it broke up a little bit there. I've got my connection has stalled, unfortunately. Go on, John, try that again.
Oh, I was just saying I got plenty of time. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, cool, excellent. All right, so I will. I can hear you again now. You're good. While I've got a decent connection, somebody wants to say hello to you from back in the north of Portugal this morning with Independence Day greetings. Apparently, Owen says Tintin says hi to John and Pam. How about that?
Killing me.
What? Oh yeah, okay. A little puss back home. Okay, let's move on then, let's have a deep thought. We've got T-Ducks having a week off this week, a well-earned break. But the dad jokes and the deep thoughts continue. You found one in the woods this morning. If nothing goes right, go left.
Not that it makes much sense, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see an English sign there. How good is your Norwegian?
Not good.
Right. Okay. So a lot of the signs
read more than I can say. I can say a little bit like good morning and hello and thank you and where's the toilet and things like that.
The essentials, obviously. Okay. That question then for the Learn About Portugal quiz. Let me try that again and see if we can get it onto the screen so you can have a look at it. It's about the item that is the rodilha here in Portugal. And you can find out more about this and many other things at learnaboutportugal.com. Today's question then, and I wrote this when I was a bit boozy last night. Oh, what's the food and drink like in Norway, John?
Fishy.
What, even the wine?
No, I'm sure it's good, but there is a fair amount of fish on the menu.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Yeah.
Great for fish fans then in Norway. Back to Portugal then. And so I wrote this when I was a bit boozy last night after the wine club. We found a fantastic organic white, the Malcata, which celebrates the Iberian lynx. The rodilha then, as mentioned on yesterday's morning show. What is a rodilha? And where might a woman place it when carrying out a vital traditional task? Does she place it on her husband, which I seem to have voted for? Does she place it in the village square? Does she put it as far away from the local community as possible? Does she pop it on her head? Or does she stick it in her underwear? John, would you care to hazard a guess at that?
It's a very small picture, but is that what they wear in the celebrations in Tomar?
Well, no, actually. Although I think that's coming up this weekend in Tomar, and they will have the trays, the tabuleiros, won't they, on their heads? Yeah. It's not referring specifically to the tray of bread and flowers, but you are on the right tracks.
Is that picture of a big pot on the person's head?
Maybe, but we will come back. We'll answer that. Yesterday's question was, of course, I can't remember right now, so I'm going to go and find out. We've moved on. We've moved on from Entroncamento, the supernatural town of Portugal. Oh yes, okay. Yesterday's question was hotels in Portugal. Oh, I'm going to ask you a question, John, because you've stayed in 1 or 2 hotels in Portugal. Measured by revenue, the hotel industry in Portugal is estimated at 4.2 billion for this year. Our question is, how many hotels are there in Portugal who are generating that income and putting the country 9th out of 27 in the EU? I should have put EU, not Europe. Please answer below. So how many hotels are there in Portugal? What would you have gone for, John? 457, 4,570, or 45,700 hotels in Portugal?
I'll go with 45,000.
It's actually 4,570. Now, I think that number swells considerably if you include Airbnbs, which I don't think this research does, from IBIS, and I will connect to that in the article for anyone who wants to learn more about hotels in Portugal, who employ an average of 13.5 people. So if you see half a person working in a hotel, that's why. There's a PS on this. What's your favorite place you've stayed in Portugal, or where do you plan to treat yourself in the future? And which country in Europe do you think tops the revenue table? So you've been here on your tour, John. Which country in Portugal tops the revenue table for hotels, would you say?
Well, I was going to say my favorite hotel in Portugal was the Storyteller there in in São Martinho.
Yeah, excellent. I've noted, and that will be included in our list of places to stay in Portugal, which we're compiling. And which country then do you think tops the EU charts for hotel revenue?
I'll have to go with France.
It's a guess others made. It's actually Germany.
Really?
Yeah, really, and I wouldn't have guessed that either. But I had access to the data that was part of this hotel industry study in Europe. But it's actually Germany who are topping those charts. So I'll connect to that into the factoids that we have behind the scenes at learnaboutportugal.com. Thank you for taking part in the quiz today, John. A few more comments then before you and we go on our way this morning. Yes, Darren guessed France as well. It is actually Germany. We've got Pete in now. Victoria says she always wanted to go to Norway, probably to Germany as well. And you know what? After seeing your video of your hometown, I want to go to Germany. It's never been on my list of places to go. And you know, I don't think I've ever been to Germany in my life. And now I'm thinking, if I could go to Heimbach and see those mountains and valleys, I would definitely love a holiday in Germany. Victoria here, always wanting to go to Norway. John, you were going to say something there, I think.
Well, I was just going to say, each country kind of has its places that are probably a little bit better than others. So like in Germany, northern Germany is probably not my favorite, from like Bonn up to Hamburg, because Hamburg, that's all. We've got a
magpie.
A magpie heckling me.
How many? Just the one?
But he's very vocal.
Okay.
But, yeah, the drive from, I would say, Ham to Hamburg up towards the Danish border was very industrial, very congested. Not my favorite. Like southern France between Bordeaux and Paris, kind of boring. But I would say central Germany to southern Germany, especially Western Germany along the French border, Alsace-Lorraine, Luxembourg, Belgium. That area is just stunning. Really beautiful area. As I mentioned in that video, there is one of the largest national parks in Germany is Eifelwald National Park. Beautiful big lake, and lots of very interesting little towns and forests and things around there. And there's some good World War II history, not too far. We went through on the way to Heimbach. There's the little town in Belgium called Bastogne. You might have heard of it. And we stopped there and just sort of serendipitously found the location where the 101st Airborne was dug in. And I played
your video. Yeah, that video you made there was very poignant, very moving.
It was extremely moving for me, just to walk the same grounds and to sort of kind of put yourself with those men. But that's all in that area, and that's probably one of my favorite areas, maybe next to Munich and southern Germany, which is close to the Alps and stuff too. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and very photogenic. Kat might get over there and take some photos when she's finished here in Portugal, which she might never finish, actually, judging by her passion for Portugal. Great video, João, says Owen. Fab videos, John. João F is here. Another João. We've got João de Norte in Norway with us, and we've got João Ferreira joining us as well in the audience this morning. Thank you, João F, for being here too. Good to see John. And Johannes Heimbach on the show. Johannes on the show today. João speaks very good German, by the way. Guys, I went to Lisbon, and it's far worse than I ever remembered. Glad to be back in Porto. He's a northern Brit guy, and he's continuing this kind of north-south divide thing whilst he's over here. He hasn't been here long in Portugal, but you can see it there. It's evident. But a north-south divide going on there. He's glad to be back up in Porto, is Darren. Bom dia from João F to Antonio. Some nice Portuguese to help us develop our vocabulary and grasp of the language there. Good morning from Pete as well. Apparently, Pete has a massive surplus of mulberry preserve, which you may have different connotations to you guys, but there is a jar each waiting for you. How about that? A gift from the FE, who is Pete there. Solar Life Portugal for both of you, Portuguese brothers, João F and Antonio F, not literally brothers. Germany, what do you think about this, John? Germany, obviously, as they have the best beer and beer halls. Did you manage to have a German beer?
We have, but we definitely saw some girls that would fit in very well at some of the beer halls.
What, who are with big jugs, so to speak? I'm in Cologne, Germany next month with work. Lucky you, Darren. And a little trip out of Portugal. I wonder if there are more than one Heimbach in Germany. Often we have more than one village or town with the same name.
Don't pop my bubble.
Yeah, shut up. Hello. Yes, turns out there are 3,262 Heimbachs in Germany. Now you've got to go and visit each one of them, John. And obviously, they need the population. Peter, he has to go there, doesn't he? My fave hotel, says Suze, without doubt, is the Casa de Padeira in Aljubarrota, Alcobaça. Thank you for that, Suze. We'll also put that in our collection as well. And I am born and raised, talking to Germany, Matty German, of course. I'm born and raised in the area. What does he say here? North of the Alsace-French border. My town's old city wall has a French gate in the south, and north it's the German gate. That's amazing, isn't it? A gate to two countries.
That's great.
It is brilliant. How dare you, Darren? Oh, it's kicking off in the chat with the north-south divide stuff. The mess, he says. The graffiti, the dealers, the promoters, the hectic life of the capital. Happy birthday, Owen, from Victoria. Yeah, very happy birthday to you, Owen, from all of us. And from John here, of course, as well. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Big 5.
Say that again, John.
It's big 5'6".
Outed. The big 5'6" for Owen. Didn't look a day over 45, though, does he? Quite frankly. So, John, thank you so much. We're coming up to the 10 o'clock mark. It's time for you to have a fabulous time in Scandinavia.
Before one little tip. So, as you said, we've driven all the way up here, but we're not driving back. So, if you ever do take a big journey like this, take the ferries back, save the miles on the car and the tires. So we're taking ferries all the way from Norway back down through England and then all the way to Spain. So we pretty much don't drive until we get to Bilbao.
Wow. So you're just getting your car onto the ferry and yourselves, obviously, and not retracing your steps. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's a Scandinavian tour hack right there. From the
go.
wonderful Johannes this morning, live from Norway. Cheers, João, from Owen. And Squire of the Shires just in this morning. Muitos desejos de feliz aniversario for Owen as well. Thanks, everyone, for the birthday wishes. A lovely note to end on. Always share your birthday with us, Gumpers, and we'll celebrate you here on the screen and in the community. So, John, lots of love to Pam and Pat. Safe onward journey, my friend. Here they are now, I think. Superb. Hola, bon dia. And I don't know how to say it in Norwegian. John, thank you so much for making time for us. And we'll see you again tomorrow with Heronius Maximus, Michael Heron. Cheers, John. Bye for now. Take care. See everybody in the morning.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.